We've been talking about potholes since winter. This week we showed you a series of 3 stories about claims and the city's response. Morning anchor Courtney John joins me now to talk more about what she's learned covering potholes. Courtney, thanks so much for coming in to talk about this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So when did you start tracking these claims?
Oh gosh, so we started tracking the database as far as people filing pothole complaints in February, I want to say, and then we started asking for the claims themselves, the things that people are filing, asking for reimbursement in March.
And throughout all these stories, you've talked a lot about reasons why people had their claims denied for fixes to their cars after they were damaged by potholes. Reading through these denial letters, what are some of the more common reasons they were denied?
So one of the stories that we touched on was a statute that the city of Omaha has used countless times before, which essentially says that the city needs a reasonable amount of time to respond to a pothole. So they need to know about the pothole before you hit it, and then they determine what a reasonable amount of time is for that. Some of the other things we covered was, is your name on the title? We had students who maybe their parents' name was on the title, so they were denied for that reason. There were also issues with people not being within city limits, maybe someone filing a claim about a highway. There were also people who didn't give specific streets, or they would not specific intersections, so they would just give a street, and the city needed more specifics on that. And then there were a few claims, it was really interesting, where the city looked at the car's condition itself and said, this isn't caused, or it's likely not caused by a pothole. This looks like regular maintenance, or your car's really old, and this probably would have happened either way. So a variety of reasons, but the main one is citing that reasonable amount of time statute.
And it sounds like we were talking about it. There's
Right.
some confusion with that of how that statute works. What is the meaning of that language there?
So it's really interesting because a lot of the people I talked to who were denied, who did their research, didn't seem to understand themselves what that meant. So the reasonable amount of time statute, it's not how quickly did the city respond to a pothole claim, to a pothole complaint. It's when did the city know, and did they know before you hit that pothole? So if the city knew on Friday but your incident happened Thursday, it doesn't matter. They couldn't have fixed it without knowing about it.
So some of that is just understanding the language of all of that.
Right.
You've done a lot of this. So if you would like to see all of Courtney's coverage on the potholes in Omaha, go to 3newsnow.com. You can also see these stories through any streaming service. Courtney, thank you so much for coming in.